must admit to being not an expert in this subject, so I'm glad I'm asking the questions and not being expected to answer them. So we have 2 or 3 big topic questions to start the discussion going with. I'm sure it'll be an interesting discussion from people who know more about this than I certainly do. So I think the first place to start is probably the big question. And the big question is the internet the single biggest thing that's happened to brands, their relationship to consumers and to marketing in their history of brands? Or is it just another route to market and a new way for the advertising agency to send you another advertising? So,
I'll start. I think it's more of the first. It's really the single most biggest change. I would see that as the single most biggest change in the history of branding. Because, I mean, within the article we used to say that a few years ago, the way you do marketing is really easy. You just, take an arrow, and then you just shoot, and then you hit that, and you see the consumers. But now the way we actually look at how do you reach out to consumers is almost like it's no longer. It's almost like you're imagining yourself in a bowling alley, trying to take a ball and actually hit the ball in the bowling alley, and often than not, you don't reach the consumers. And I think in the context of China, where it's the fastest developing in terms of internet, with innovations like WeChat, from Weibo to WeChat in itself is definitely transforming the way consumers connect with brands. It's no longer a logical process in terms of awareness, etc. to consumption. You could actually recruit and talk to consumers in the speed of time. So I think, based on the experience that I've got, I think definitely it's more first.
I completely agree with Mr. I think because I've never traded internet as a media. Because especially when you think about the people who has born after the 1980s, they are born with the internet. So actually, all their behavior, their buying behavior, their entertainment, everything has been happening through the internet. So I would think that while media become more and more fragmented, and like WeChat.
Actually, for the communication, for the marketing, I think it has increased very fast because of the internet. But traditionally, it is a competition. But for the enterprises, it is not a competition because internet brings us more opportunities. Actually, for us, for our enterprise, for our company, we are putting more and more investment in the internet because compared to the traditional ways like the TV programs, the internet can enable you to interact with the consumers. This is not available in the traditional media. So I think in recent 2 years, the internet is developing really very fast. I think internet for the brands and for the enterprises is a very, very big complementary way with the traditional ways of media because it is more interactive so that it can bring the brands a more.
Okay, so we seem pretty clear on the fact it's a huge game changer. It's changed the relationships with consumers and with brands, and it's changed the marketplace and the very nature of marketing. So as a huge opportunity, who do you see has taken the best advantage of this opportunity? So far, who and which brands have been the big winners in this new arena? You can't say yourself.
Can we answer this question in Chinese?
Actually, I think the biggest winners as mentioned in this morning, the BAT, Baidu, Alibaba, and Tencent. I think the three brands are the biggest winners. But from different perspectives, they are biggest winners. From instant message, from research, or the search engine. And now, those who can integrate different aspects will be the biggest winner. And also for us, the consumption-oriented products or brands, I think we can quickly apply some innovations and try to integrate some functions or the technology to the brand. We will also be the biggest winner. So we have many examples. I think all these brands who are successful in the internet area are very good examples for us to learn from.
我用中文，对不起，我有点 complex. I'll speak back in English. I struggle with this question a lot. Actually, is there any brands that really stick out and actually capitalize really well in this case? I mean, you could really show a lot of case studies, and at the end of the day, it's really what is a measurement of success. I mean, in my point of view, I might have a little bit of an unorthodox view about it. I think because of the nature of China's industry, which is quite unique, I think it's like what you have said. It's actually Tencent and Alibaba that is really winning the game and totally revolutionize the way the consumers connect and actually presenting quite a lot of marketing challenges to us as marketers. And I look back at the best winners in this game. It might be the consumers themselves, because in some ways it's positive, in some ways it's not really that positive, depending on which age band you're in. I mean, for the young consumers, it's really positive because it allows them to, at one point of time, do 3 or 4 things at the same time. I mean, for older generation that maybe I fall into the band with, is that I felt that it's causing human connections to be a little bit far off. So that is my point of view.
I totally agree with you. Actually, in the internet area, I think there are no losers. We are all winners, because the internet changed our way of life and bring us more opportunities. And also for the enterprises, it also bring enterprise opportunities, increase the revenue or the benefits. And for the brands of the products, we have new ways to market. And for the consumers, it brings more convenience, and it enables the consumers to have more opportunities to engage or to interact with their brands or the products. So I think for everyone, we are all the biggest winners. For the consumers, if we can make the best use of the internet, the brand or the company will be the biggest winner. So for the internet enterprises, like Tencent or the Baidu, if they can be very innovative, if they can make the best use of the internet, they can also be the biggest winner. So in the internet era, we can be very innovative, we can make some breakthroughs, we can to be very innovative to become the biggest winner.
That's a really interesting response, because it's actually touched on to the next question, which was who, if any, are the big losers? And you make the point very, very clearly and eloquently that everybody that has embraced and been engaged by these new media forms has benefited. But there have been some companies and some brands that didn't engage, thinking the way that Kodak were left behind by picture, or the way that Barnes & Noble were left behind by the movement of online book sales. Is there anybody that keeps in mind that you think didn't make the most of the opportunity, or didn't believe the opportunity was there and suffered because they weren't quite as forward-thinking as perhaps the three of you are?
Probably a brand that stood out for me a little bit, and it's really in the technology industry. I think you mentioned Kodak, which is a classic example. And I think in the phone industry, probably Nokia, which, you know, a few 10 years down the road ago, I mean, the first phone that people owned was actually Nokia, but within 5 years, it became Apple itself. But I think it's really brands that generally might have a fear of, you know, trying new things and being ahead of the curve. But having said that, it's not easy. Being a marketer myself, you often been challenged by your bosses by what is best returns on investment, and being in the digital space, sometimes you can't really quantify the ROI in a quantifiable way.
Actually, there are also some losers. I think it's like the public medias. They are very slow in terms of the media because we often see many newspapers or the newspaper agencies. Actually, they just rely on the revenue of advertising. But because of the change, but like some magazines, but they can find some ways to go online, or they have ebook, or they can transform their way to sell their content, sell their lifestyle. So for the traditional media, you can also find this technology to support it. It's not like the public traditional medias. So we have to be innovative so as not to be replaced by new media. Relatively speaking, I think in different industries, it depends on your ability to react to the internet era. We have a friend who go to the Hunan TV to visit, to have inspection. Actually, you can see, if you can make a very good combination of the new technology, you have to change in a changing environment, then you can also be very successful. I think the only loser is the China Telecom. Why? Because of the emergency of WeChat. Before we send text messages, now we never send text messages anymore. Text messenger has become a garbage information source. So I think this will also be an influence because they do not change. They stick to their traditional way to do business. So for those who are conservative, like the China Telecom, maybe they will be influenced by this.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point. It's a very, very good point. So we've talked a lot about today about the relationship with the consumer, about how the brand touches the consumer, not just in terms of purchasing, in terms of affinity, but really how it matters to them. In your opinions, what has been the biggest change in terms of the relationship between the brand and the consumer through the internet and digital age?
Well, I think digital age caused the availability of information to be at a really fast speed. I think the biggest change for brands need to be absolutely consistent in terms of what you really stand for, and you also need to be very relevant in an authentic way, and yet at the same time trying to be locally relevant. So the need and the power of authenticity and consistency in keeping to your brand value, yet adapting in a way that is leveraging this medium is actually what I see personally as the biggest change.
Actually, consumers most outweighs the brand. Sometimes the internet may make the brand feel more authoritative, But because of the change of the environment, I think the brands shall be more moderate. Brands should be willing to make friends with consumers. It's not just to lower your position, but also in terms of the communication method and the speaking style, as well as the development of new products. You have to listen to the voice of the consumers. Naglaw Chemicals, we also made some involvement with the consumers to do the research and the development of new products. And then you will find that the products will be more popular among the consumers. So as companies, we have to learn, we have to study the new relation with consumers to be more equal, more interactive with them. Actually, today, for consumers are also a media, like a self-media concept. Before we just use some TV stations, we just use the TV stations to tell the consumers how good we are. But now in the self-media, because of the internet era, if you have a fans, 1,000 or 10,000 fans in the Weibo, their impression or their feeling about a brand will also influence their fans. They will create a media environment, so we have to target them very well. We have to consider or reflect whether our way of communication is acceptable to the consumers. Because for the self-media, they have comments for the products. Because for some of the consumers, they are our consumers. At the same time, they are also media. So I think in the internet area, we have to consider this aspect also.
So I have just one last question, and then we'll open it up to see if anybody else has anything to ask him. It's a big one. I find it hard to imagine that 2004 was 10 years ago. It just seems like 18 months ago. But in 2004, so in the last 10 years, there was no smartphones, there was no high-speed connectivity, there was no 3G, there was no Facebook, there was no Weibo, there was Weibo the way of Amazon, there was no Skype, there was no Twitter. None of the things that we now just take absolutely for granted as part of the landscape in which we, as marketeers and branding people, work existed. What do you see the next 10 years looking like? If we're sitting here in 2024, what conversation are we having then? What is the big thing we're talking about in 10 years' time?
If I shorten it to 5 years, I think some phenomenon can be seen in 5 years. I think 2 points. First is artificial intelligence. Because artificial intelligence has been researched for a long time. But recently it has made some breakthroughs. It's like Google Glass, these kind of products. It can help more people to improve our life. But for Google Glass has been talked about for a very long time, but we have not seen some successful cases. Actually, in the US, they have a brand use Google Glass. When the consumer like a certain color, they will use the Google Glass to record the color. Then, when they go back home, they can put the color, all the colors to the wall. And then they will use the app, and then the app will recommend the color. Then you can directly buy through this color recommendation, which means that they can use Google Glass to finish the whole circle of purchasing. So I think this kind of technology will be more and more common. The second point is now we mentioned about the scan you can scan to check the quality of the skin. So I think in the medical service, for some of the diagnosis can be done without doctors. You can use some simple devices to do some initial diagnosis. Based on the database, you can check the kind of disease, and then the doctors will get involved in the further step. So, and for the food industry, it can also be used, like the cook. For some junior works, it can be done by artificial intelligence, but not cooks themselves. So for the cooks, will get involved in the most complicated step. So as the development of the artificial intelligence, I think the humans themselves will improve better and better. But I think some jobs or some works have to be upgraded. Otherwise, they will disappear. And also, I think in the future, the brands will be more difficult to use the media to communicate. I think the branding entertainment to get integrated into life, into entertainment, will be a must. Because in the future, consumers can avoid all kinds of advertising. Everything they choose will be new. So if you are not innovative, it is impossible for you to get into the side of the consumers. So we can choose some new ways to do marketing, like Monk Milk. We can do entertainment marketing, which will be a bigger trend in the future. I think I have 2 points. First, after 10 years, maybe the mobile phone will not be called a mobile phone anymore. Why? Because I think mobile phone has become an essential tool, not only for receiving or calling phones. I think 10 years later, mobile phone will be even more important. It will not, for the management of fragmented time, I think mobile phone will no longer be a tool. You can use it to do shopping. You can check the milk. You can check the product of wine. And then you can make it delivered to your house this evening. So the functions of the mobile phone will be greatly improved in the future. It is no longer a smart terminal. Because in the internet era, because now, according to the data, the number of people who get online through the mobile phones will be much higher than those through the PC terminals. Before, 10 years ago, the consumers watched the CCTV or watched the Hunan TV. But now the consumers, they have many more platforms to get this information because the internet has enough amount of information. Only the content is good enough can the consumers recognize it. Because they have a limited space, they have the right to choose the content they like, their favorite advertising, their favorite content. So I think this is a big challenge for the advertisers and for our companies because it's a content-oriented era.
Maybe because I'm in the brand, in the field of marketing, not really for FMCG products. I think the brands that we market is really more of lifestyle and emotional. So I tend to look at this question, which is a very, really tough one, not really from a technological and a standpoint, but more really from a human psychographic and a psychological standpoint. I think with the whole trends on technology coming and facilitating, connections, that almost that is not human. I might really think that it's really going back to basics. It's about, having quality life that consumers, from a attention perspective, might look for brands that could actually help them go back to basics and go back to connecting with them more on an emotional level and no longer just really as in fact very functional. I think you're seeing signs of it in China already, because of the O2O connection itself. Consumers are actually looking for experience that's not only just what they can see outside, but also looking at experience that they can connect on an offline perspective. I feel that the need and the tension around connecting them with them on an emotional level, because of driven by all the technological challenges, will actually become more prevalent in the next 10 years. And that actually create opportunities for brands who have a strong brand purpose, who could actually differentiate themselves at an emotional platform, because you are actually really answering to a core human truths. So that's my point of view. Yeah.
So it all really comes back to the consumer is king, connecting with the consumer on a real level and giving them something that they're engaged, entertained by, and generally want.
非常好的一个答案。我这边有需要补充的。I think in the future, the biggest winner is not the owner of technology. It must be those who can integrate the technology to meet the needs of the consumers. It's like Apple. Actually, all the technologies are not created by Apple. What they can do is to find the needs of the consumers and integrate all kinds of technologies to sell the emotional creativity to the consumers. I think it will also be the same in the future. In the following 5 or 10 years, maybe there will be a new invention. Maybe the real innovation is not about the technology themselves, is to integrate all kinds of technologies in a smart way so as to improve consumers' life.
And I think that's a really good line on which to draw the conclusion onto that. Are there any questions from the floor to any of the panelists? But it is 5:15 on a Friday, to be fair. Thank you very much.